Daylight saving time begins this weekend, so set those clocks and watches ahead by 1 hour before you head off to bed Saturday night. Officially, that's 2 a.m. Sunday morning. So remember, spring ahead, a reminder from the Bermuda Broadcasting Company.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Friday, March the 8th, 2019, International Women's Day. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, residents once again taking government to task over plans to reform the island's two municipalities of Hamilton and St. George. The second town hall meeting focusing on Hamilton took place last night at the Heritage Worship Center. Giving government's side of the presentation were Deputy Premier Walter Raban, the Public Works Minister David Birch, and the Tourism and Transport Minister Zane De Silva. As Turai Trot reports, ministers found themselves involved in a heated exchange at times with some audience members who were deeply opposed to the plans.
A lot of focus by opponents of government reform plans for the city of Hamilton centered on the financial health of the Bermuda government.
What gives you the basis to think the government has the financial basis to take on these obligations?
Thank you.
In our own discussions with Hamilton, there have been issues that we have desired to work with Hamilton on, which it has told this government it doesn't have the money to do so.
Similarly, audience member and businessman Jim Butterfield questioning government's ability to deliver on its promises for the city.
That the government will improve economic well-being. The government will improve social well-being. The government will improve the environmental well-being of the city. I would say right now the corporation is doing their best to do that. When I go and pick up Debbie's little dog, that street's all been paved and brick. It's the nicest street in town. The city, I would say, does have the money, but this government, ladies and gentlemen, unless I'm on another planet, is broke and has no money. And the other one that the vacant offices. I've got a vacant office. If you could help me rent that, I'd really be pleased to do it. I don't think rental stuff is what the government should be doing. Those all sound like magic to me.
His view was not shared by the Home Affairs Minister, Walter Raban.
I don't think I can share your view when we know that Hamilton is currently pumping sewage out off the South Shore through the current water sewage system that it's had. And if Hamilton was so run so well, they could have invested in something very different a long time ago.
The claims by some in the audience that the government was broke drew the ire of the Public Works Minister, David Birch.
I'd like to dispel the myth that we don't have any money. We have debt. And I would venture to say that everybody in this room has debt. I would venture to say that many people in this room will go to heaven or hell with outstanding debt. It's how you manage it.
Minister Birch then stating his belief that there was little recognition by some of the fact that the Minister of Finance had produced a balanced budget with a path to paying down the debt for the first time in 17 years. However, his statement was met with a remark uttered out loud by a woman in the audience.
Window dressing? Okay, then let's really be honest tonight. I suspect that most of the objection to this proposal comes from the sense of entitlement that many people feel they have in this country. And the comment of window dressing has to do very much with the fact of who is delivering the message. This government was elected with 51% of the electorate of this country, and like it or not, that means we have a mandate to govern.
This man said he backed the government reform plans for the city of Hamilton and complained that past focus by corporation administrators excluded what is known as the back of town or North Hamilton.
Not only certain sections of the city, but try to develop and help the whole city.
The current corporation of Hamilton was heavily criticized by Minister Raban for pumping its sewage out on the South Shore, a practice he said was no longer environmentally acceptable, and he pledged that government has the resources and equipment to properly treat the sewage of not just Hamilton, but the entire island. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Tarai. In other news, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Keynes, today hit back at the opposition MP Michael Dunkley over an alleged breach of the standing orders of the House of Assembly by the minister. Mr. Keynes telling Mike Sharp, Mr. Dunkley is far from accurate on this one.
Mr. Dunkley had claimed that monies had been spent over the amount budgeted for gang reduction, and that the rules call for supplementary estimates to be tabled. Mr. Keynes said he wanted to set the record straight.
The question is centered around the headquarters part of our budget, $1.7 million. The suggestion was that we had gone over budget within the headquarters 1.7 part of our budget, and that we should have come back to the House in accordance with standing orders and received a supplementary budget. Well, we're saying that that is actually not correct. There are standard practices that the $134 million within the entire department, that is the number that we are required not to overspend on. When one department or one entity is short of funds, it is a normal, accepted best practice within standing orders that allows you to wire money from one department in the ministry to another. And that was done last year. We did not require supplemental budget, and we stayed within our $134 million allotment, and this year we will believe that we will stay within our budget again.
Minister Keynes said it is not irregular for funds to be relocated.
And if the year hasn't ended yet, there is a need for us to get a supplemental. Of course, we will follow standing orders. So again, we understand that managing the people's purse is very critical. Oftentimes, there are opportunities for us where there are shortfalls in one department legally within standing orders and following best practice to wire, and it's called a virement, to transfer money from one department to another. That's what was done in these circumstances, and it did not require us coming to the House for a supplementary budget.
And why has government been hush on the pepper spray payouts?
With reference to the pepper spray payout, as you know, the Speaker of the House said until the parliamentary subcommittee has finished its work that we should refrain from discussing the matter. So when the matter first came in the public domain, it was leaked in the public domain, we acknowledged that it was $125,000. We accept that this is the public's purse, and we should have full explanation and transparency where the money comes from, and we will do so. But the Speaker of the House has advised us that whilst the parliamentary subcommittee is doing its work, that we should refrain from all public discourse about the payment, and that is why we didn't do our ministerial statement explaining everything. And we believe when the committee has finished its work that we will openly and in the public sphere discuss what entity the money came back and give all the specifics that we are allowed to do in accordance to the law and without breaching the confidential agreements that were signed mutually.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Mike. Well, coming up, latest consumer price index figures, International Women's Day activities, and your weekend weather forecast. We'll be right back.
At ProServe, we've got mail. Did you know at ProServe, we handle over 150,000 mail pieces per month. We have a full mail handler's license, secure, centrally located facilities, state-of-the-art digital printing, insertion, franking, and tracking systems. Even full mailroom operations management, along with experienced staff and the reliability to get your job done right. So whether the job is large or small, by hand or sprint pickup delivery, daily, weekly, monthly, or a one-off project, we've got you covered from start to finish with email confirmation. At ProServe, we've got mail. Call 295-7619 or visit proserve.bm, and let's get it started.
wondering, do cell phone and internet providers really look out for his best interests? And what about electricity? Like most people, Cal's had his share of bad experiences with service providers. Yet, he also has friends in the industry who go above and beyond for customers. As a consumer, your experience shouldn't be hit and miss, which is why the regulatory authority is introducing consumer protection standards. Cal likes that. The standards will mean improved frontline staff training, fair and honest marketing and advertising, better handling of complaints, easy to understand billing, and protection for vulnerable consumers. The new guidelines will also set service standards for managing outages, customer data privacy, and more. The regulatory authority wants to know what's important to you. It's easy to have your say. Go to rab.bm to be part of the Consumer Protection Public Consultation.
Welcome back. In local economic news, consumers paid 0.8% more in November 2018 than they did a year ago for the basket of goods and services included in the Consumer Price Index. The level of inflation declined 0.3 percentage points from the 1.1% measured in October 2018. Between October 2018 and November 2018, the average cost of goods and services in the CPI fell 0.2%. The All Items Index decreased to 105 points in November. This means that the basket of goods and services that cost $100 in April 2015 now costs $105. For the third consecutive month, the average cost of health insurance premiums was the leading factor behind the 3% increase in the health and personal care sector. The fuel and power sector and the education, recreation, entertainment, and reading sector also contributed to the rise in the annual rate of inflation. Both sectors increased 7% and 1.5% respectively, following the 0.4% increase in October. The food sector declined 0.1%. The fuel adjustment clause dipped almost 2%. As a result, the fuel and power sector dropped 0.6% for the month. In other news, female equality and diversity in the economy, workplace, and overall society were at the forefront of today's observation of International Women's Day. The theme this year is Balance for Better, as the Women's Resource Center aims to build support and grow a gender-balanced world and island.
Hundreds gathered at the steps of City Hall today to raise awareness of the need to create a gender-balanced world and community. School children, dignitaries, including Premier David Burt, and the opposition leader Craig Cannonier were in attendance at the event, hosted by the Women's Resource Center. The first female country manager of AIG Insurance gave an impassioned call for positive change for women in leadership roles.
How is it that in 2019 it is still rare for a double minority like me to be in a leadership position? According to ABIC data, out of every 100 executives, only 25 are women. Out of the same 100, regardless of gender, 5 are black. So how did a little black girl from Cedar Hill and White Hill get here? With a lot of faith, determination, continuous learning, patience, gratitude, and most certainly not by myself.
Hosting duties were performed by Patrina Power Girl O'Connor, who introduced a range of influential women from the areas of business, politics, the arts, and public office.
The equal opportunity of women in every facet of daily life is an essential element of a free and prosperous society. Today and all month long, we honor women who have fought for equality and against the status quo.
The main message shared many times over throughout the day was the need to close the gap in gender equality, as women make up more than half of Bermuda's population, a message echoed by Deputy Governor Allison Crockett, Summersfield Academy student Tatum Brewer, and economist Mrs. Kristen Burt.
I want to take a few moments to encourage each of you to join me in finding ways to translate the energy and inspiration of this International Women's Day celebration into meaningful actions every day. We've heard from Elaine Butterfield from the Women's Resource Center and some of the programs that they do to enhance the lives of women by supporting their families, strengthening our communities, and fostering community. So if that mission speaks to you, give to support them. Whether you give your time, share your talent, or make a financial donation, we can all make a difference.
What was clear today is the enthusiasm of the next generation of young women and girls ready to experience a brighter future. Many expressed the idea that through activism, advocating for safer working environments, appreciating the contributions of women in arts, science, and the economy, success for everyone can be found in balance. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Very proud of Miss Tatum Brewer. Turning to weather news, cooler temps, but a mostly beautiful sunny weekend in store. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and hopefully you've had a great Friday, and hopefully you have an even better weekend. You can see a lot of energy here out toward the East Coast. We're going to be watching that as a storm system tracks to our north, and that will help bring down a cold front into our area. So we will see the opportunity for a couple of spotty showers, especially as we head into tomorrow. But for tonight, if you're planning on heading out to enjoy this Friday evening, nothing you have to worry about here. Maybe a stray shower, but besides that, we're not expecting anything in the form of significant precipitation for tonight. The only thing that we have been dealing with today are the chilly temperatures. We're only in the upper 50s right now, and this is not the only cool shot of air that we are going to be seeing over the next couple of days. You'll see more with that on our extended forecast. Right now, we are in the upper 50s with humidity right around 60%. Winds coming in out of the north-northeast between 5 and 10 knots. And conditions out on the water, not too bad. You just have to brave the chilly air that we have in place right now. Waves outside of the reef are running between 4 and 7 feet. So here you go, your tidal times posted for you on the bottom of your screen. High tide coming in at 9:56 tonight, and then we have low tide coming in at 3:52 a.m. on Saturday. So for tonight, temperatures not really going to fluctuate a whole lot from where we are right now. A low 58 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And then once we head into tomorrow, we will have increasing clouds with that frontal boundary that's going to be getting closer to us. The good thing about tomorrow is ahead of the front, temperatures will be spiking up. So we'll at least get into the upper 60s, about 10 degrees warmer compared to where we are right now. So let's take a look at our futurecast here, what we anticipate as we continue into the rest of the weekend. Again, we will have that cold front moving through the area, and then we will be watching another frontal boundary once we get into earlier next week, and that one looks to bring a reinforcing shot of some colder air here. So it will be getting chilly once again. As we look at some of the current conditions right now, Jamaica, Barbados, and also Trinidad feeling pretty nice outside with temperatures sitting in the 80s. We do have mainly cloudy skies, though, and also some spotty showers as well. Hey, if you're doing any traveling, here's a look at your gateway forecast. Toronto, tomorrow, a high of 30 degrees with sunny skies. New York City, an improvement, a high of 44 degrees. And if you're heading into the southeast, we'll call it tranquil temperatures, 71 in Atlanta tomorrow, 83 degrees in Miami, Florida. Here's a look at the extended forecast. You can see we have a few opportunities for some wet weather, primarily late in the day, Saturday into Saturday night, and also some spotty showers possible on Sunday as well. Then as we head into early next week, Monday looks good as you head back to work and school with a high of 72 degrees. But then look at this, showers and thunderstorms possible Tuesday and Wednesday, also still wet and also significantly cooler with highs right around 60.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm a taxi driver / ambassador. My father's with BF&M, so am I. Half of my family always been seen to be with Bermuda Fire Marine. I tried a different provider at one time, but I wasn't too happy with the competition because back then it took too long to settle claims. They questioned every claim, and I never really had that problem with BF&M. I'm quite happy with it.
And you're watching the Friday edition of Bermuda Tonight. We are less than 50 days away from another round of the ITU World Triathlon, but there's a bigger countdown looming. Bermuda will host the World Triathlon Grand Final in 2021. Some 3,000 athletes are expected, making this the perfect opportunity for Bermuda to market itself as a premier sports destination. But will the island be accessible to the 100 para-triathletes expected to compete? Tony Waterman went to find out.
Let's introduce you to everybody. Jessica Cooper-Lewis.
She's one of the fastest para sprinters in the world.
Racing for Bermuda here, their first ever Paralympian.
A two-time Paralympian who holds the Parapan American Games record.
And so it is Jessica Lewis of Bermuda first.
Bermudian para-athlete Jessica Lewis flawlessly whips around racetracks across the globe. Yet when she's home in Bermuda, things aren't always so seamless.
My main thing is the sidewalks, like the ramps. I've gotten stuck a few times, and I've actually fallen out of my chair a few times because of them.
Access to buildings and restaurants can also be a challenge, and forget about public transportation. More handicap-accessible taxis are needed, and while a number of hotels do have accessible accommodations, they usually only have a few rooms to offer.
I think it's just kind of being aware of some of the specific needs that the lower functioning individuals may require, such as like maybe in hotel bathrooms, like having like bars put in place that they can hold on to, and that helps them to transfer a little bit easier.
These are just some of the pain points that need to be addressed as Bermuda gears up to host the World Triathlon Grand Final in 2021. An accessibility panel has been formed to ensure changes are made, so Bermuda's chance to showcase itself as a sports tourism destination to a global audience isn't squandered.
Put it this way, we put the bid in, we won the bid, so we're going to have to be ready. We have no choice but to make this work and happen. We get one shot at it, and it's going to have to work.
What happens if they're not ready on this one shot? I mean, does word travel quickly?
Bermuda can make some things happen, so we'll get it. I do have faith that we'll get this one right.
Adding handicap-accessible features to more buildings, hotels, or forms of transport won't be cheap, but the economic payoff would be long-term. Para-sports are gaining global interest. Ticket sales for the 2018 Paralympics in South Korea hit a record. Patrick Singleton sits on the Medical and Scientific Commission of the International Olympic Committee. He says countries which enable para-events have a better chance of hosting championships.
Bermuda's economy can benefit if we are able to deliver para access and para facilities, because those athletes are going to come to Bermuda, they're going to compete in the competition, but maybe they'll come here and train. Maybe their teams will come here and train. Maybe Bermuda can become a center in our region for para athletes to have training camps and host events here.
Aside from periodic sporting events, making Bermuda more handicap accessible could cultivate much bigger economic and social payoffs.
I'll be honest with you, if you look at the blogs, Bermuda does not do well when it comes to the tourism blogs as far as accessibility is concerned. It's very unfortunate that we have to use tourists to start making a headway as far as accessibility and amenities in place for disabilities, but if that's what we have to do to get it done, well, we'll get it done so it works for residents and tourists.
An opportunity for Bermuda to become more inclusive, not just for visitors, but for those who call Bermuda home year-round.
Thanks, Tony. Earl Bazin will bring us the very latest in sports in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
is proud to offer Bermuda's best selection of natural and exotic stone, carefully selected and imported from Italy and Brazil. We also stock the newest collection from Caesar stone and silestone. Don't forget our wide variety of gorgeous porcelain wood plank tiles, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile, as well as natural travertines suitable for outdoors and indoors. Bathroom and pool tiles are in stock too. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1.
You can count on us.
Avocados, hot price, 2 for $3. Fresh Purdue Oven Stuffer Roaster, $1.99 per pound. Kreider 18-pack large white eggs, hot price for $2.95. Hunt's Tomato Ketchup, 35-ounce squeeze bottle for $2.99. Charmin Essential Strong Toilet Tissue, 1 roll, hot price $1.19. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
Earl Basin has tonight's sports report.
The Bermuda Open Squash PSA Tournament Championship Finals are set this after semi-final night, last night at the Devonshire Squash Club.
In the men's semi-final, Jamie Haycock from England defeated the number 1 seed, Chris Beanie from Jamaica, in a 5-game battle, 11-7, 9-11, 11-8, 5-11, 13-11. In the other men's semi-final, Nick Shavy from Canada needed 4 games to defeat Lyle Fuller from England, 11-9, 8-11, 11-3, 11-7. In the first women's semi-final match, England's Anna Kimberley came from 2 games down and 7-1 down in the third game to defeat Nazarine Arifin from Malaysia, 12-14, 3-11, 12-10, 11-9, 11-9. Marina Stefanani from USA, the youngest player in the tournament at the age of 16, would need 4 games to defeat her opponent, Catalina Pelez from Colombia, 8-11, 11-7, 11-9, 11-7. Not even a shower could prevent the start of the Grey Goose World Par 3 Championships at the Turtle Hill Golf Course this morning. This year's 36-hole championship sees a number of talented golfers from across the globe competing for the title and their share of the $50,000 purse. The tournament features former European Tour ladies and men's players as well as LPGA Tour players. Chaka De Silva, who won the Bermuda Professional Golf Association Stroke Play Championships just a week ago, as well as Scott Roy, who finished second, will be looking to continue their form. Daniel Augustus, who has been overseas in recent weeks, is also looking to claim the title. James Finnegan and his Florida Tech men's tennis teammates took on Christian Brothers University, going down 6-1. The match started off with Christian Brothers University winning the second and third doubles flight, which clinched the doubles point for them. Florida Tech snagged its only win of the contest in the top bill doubles as Finnegan and J.J. Clark won 3-1. The singles portion of the match saw some tough battles, but no one from Florida Tech would be able to pull out a win. Jordan Slayton's first outside competition landed him in first place in the compound cadet division and third place overall, while Tiffany Slayton finished second in the women's recurve division, all while competing in the Bullseye Classic Outdoor Target Archery Tournament. Jordan Slayton would have rounds of 314 and 311 for a total of 625, while Tiffany Slayton had scores of 222 and 251 for a total of 473. In Summersby Men's Classic Bowling League action at the Work Lanes, it saw the match between Team Metro and Team Unsponsored and deadlock at 15-15. The Tele Bermuda High Speeders went down 17-13 to Team Relive. Team Electric defeated the Bye team 28.5 to 1.5. Team Amstel got by Phones Plus 24-6. New Mix-Ups defeated the Gosling's Black Seal 21-9.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Take a test drive today at Ultimate Motors.
You can count on us.
Your choice, peaches, plums, or nectarines, only $2.99 per pound. Fresh USDA bone-in strip steak, $14.99 per pound. Schmidt Italian sliced bread, 20-ounce loaf, hot price $4.39. Scott paper towels, choose a size roll, $2.59. Save $1.60 on Purex liquid laundry detergent, 50-ounce bottle, hot price $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
At the Bermuda Festival, we're bringing the classics to life in 2019 between March 5th and 9th. From New York, the Frazan Ensemble features the brightest of classical music's rising stars drawn from major music schools including Juilliard and Yale. Terrence McNally's play Masterclass portrays Broadway and film actress Catherine Cates as opera diva Maria Callas. For tickets, visit PTix or BermudaFestival.org. Celebrating the empowerment of women, She is Art, 44th Annual Bermuda Festival.
That's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Friday evening with us, everyone. We really appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.